Dallas Stadium, aka AT&T Stadium. Sweden and Japan will be going head-to-head in just a few hours. And our own Mike Leslie is standing by at Texas Live with one of the men responsible for bringing the World Cup to Dallas. Mike?
You are not kidding, my man. Dan Hunt of FC Dallas here with us, and we are talking about one of the preeminent soccer fans in this country and one of the preeminent soccer influences in this country as well, instrumental in the fact that the World Cup has come here to the U.S. for a second time and for the first time in 32 years. Everybody associates you with the game of soccer. I'm wondering for you, what's the origin story? How did the game grip you? How far back are we going, and when did it really take hold for you?
So, like every kid, I grew up playing, right? I mean, so many kids play and then leave the game. And my brother, yeah. I mean, so many kids. But my brother Clark at the same time was playing at SMU. So I was playing youth soccer, then watching him at SMU. But for me, it was the 1986 World Cup in Mexico. That was my first World Cup. I got to go there, be with my parents, be with my family, to see the passion of the Mexican fans, what the World Cup meant to them. Because remember, 86 was supposed to be in Colombia. But the cartels had overrun Colombia and stadiums weren't ready. And Mexico raised their hand, said we want to host it again. And they'd had the terrible earthquakes in 85 in Mexico City. But to see that nation put that energy, I just fell in love with the game. That was my aha moment.
Yeah. So to now have this opportunity to see it come back for a second time, obviously 94 was a touchstone moment for this country in the game of soccer and launched a lot of people's fandom of the game and obviously launched MLS just a couple of years later, but it has been in fits and spurts probably the growth of the game of soccer here in America. To have it come back now, how much do you think it can really goose the game of soccer and kind of send this thing nuclear?
Yeah, I mean, I was at the opening game for the United States, and I can now really say we are truly a men's soccer nation. That was the moment. And, internationals would make fun of soccer fans in America and say, oh, you're cheering for the ball to go out of bounds. Our fans were living and dying with every single slide tackle, throw-in, back pass, and these tremendous goals, too. I mean, the way the nation got behind that team, that was that moment we'd been waiting for as a family for so long, and our energy had put into this, and there were just pockets of fandom, and it was growing and growing. And Major League Soccer's had ups and downs, but the high note it's on now with all of its partners and the great players. I mean, the best player in the world plays in Major League Soccer, and we had the good fortune of having Pelé play in the 70s. But for me, it is on steroids now. I mean, we are on a trajectory that I've never seen before in soccer in this country.
So far, it has been incredibly successful, not just here in Arlington, but across the country. It has had immense success in gripping this nation, and it's not just been the games involving the U.S. People have really dove in, I think, with both feet to all of it. What has been your favorite thing to witness, to experience, to see everybody really kind of get ensnared by this thing?
Well, first off, I'm on a whole bunch of new text chains with people who weren't soccer fans. They were friends that I've grown up with, and their interest, them watching the games. I mean, for me, welcoming these visitors has been something that has been so special to see them fall in love with our buildings. And I'll say, I mean, every time I'm in Dallas Stadium, formerly or also known as AT&T Stadium, which is also in Arlington, a little bit of the confusion on that. Just a little bit. But to see the look of awe on fans' faces is so cool. And then I heard from a bunch of Argentinian fans that went to Arrowhead to see the first game there and sort of how iconic that stadium is too. And we have amazing buildings. I mean, we have the best stadiums in the entire world right here in the United States. And I've gotten the greatest joy from all these fans coming out internationally and saying, we have to apologize. We thought these American football stadiums, it was going to be a bad experience. They're saying these are the greatest stadiums in the world. And so to share that, but also to share our culture, right? Yeah. I mean, I'm going tomorrow with a German journalist to eat barbecue and things like that, and to get to share our Texas hospitality. So it's been so fun.
That's awesome. That's so cool. It's been incredible to see how it has taken hold. And I know you've lived it for so long. You were telling me a little bit ago the shoes you're wearing are your World Cup shoes.
The shoes.
They've been to every World Cup since what we said 98.
98.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been to every World Cup since 98. I had to look nice, but I had to find a comfortable pair of shoes to get around, and this has done it. They've been resold a few times. times. But they're a little worse for the wear. In fact, I've had people ask me, internationals visiting, are you sure that you don't need a loan, or is the soccer business not for you? They're
getting a shot at your shoes.
Yeah, exactly. But people are like, is it tough times for you?
The Hunt family's really going through it, right?
Right. I'm like, should we be worried? And I'm like, no. My mom gave me this pair of shoes, and I typically wear them with rabbit socks. Her favorite animal was a rabbit. And it's just so many happy memories. People ask me all the time, what is my big hope for this World Cup? Look, it's for the U.S. to win it. It's for us to produce the next generation of great players, that we have success for generations. But it's also for friends and family to create these lifetime memories.
Yeah.
I went to Miami yesterday to watch Brazil-Scotland. Bob McNutt, one of the owners of Me Casino, went with me to see the game. He's been to every World Cup since 1974.
Wow.
Which is amazing. But we laughed about our memories, and we told about 6 hours worth of memories and stories that we had from World Cup. So much so that our other guests asked me to be quiet. So
that's awesome. I love that they're getting a shot of your shoes, and in the meantime, you see my nasty big toe that my son spiked a water cup at and is all black and blue.
You should have said
we didn't need to see that.
They should have been out kicking a soccer ball. That would have been a better answer for that.
He's all in on basketball right now. We haven't quite gotten him to soccer yet, but he's not even 2, so we got time to work him down that path. I'm curious your perspective as a member of the Hunt family. Your family is so connected to the game of soccer, but also connected to the NFL as well with the Kansas City Chiefs and all the success that they have had, certainly over the last decade, but going back through the decades as well. There's been a lot of discussion by some of the NFL players in the last couple of months or whatever, as they have seen these grass fields be installed at places like AT&T Stadium, MetLife Stadium. I know at Arrowhead, obviously, you guys have a grass field, so you're already in this boat. But what do you think about that discussion and the fact that a lot of these players seem to be saying, it doesn't seem that it's pretty clear, they're saying, hey, can we play on these grass fields too?
Yeah, look, we're traditionalists in sports. I mean, soccer should be played on grass.
Yeah.
We believe football, should be played on grass. We recognize the climate issues, though.
Right.
Thankfully for this World Cup, the first, June and the first half of July, the climate, even for the outdoor stadiums, it's great for grass. It gets hot here.
Yeah.
Late July, August, it gets hot. And then you have the winter elements. But, the beauty here of Dallas Stadium, Jerry promised me it was always going to be 72 and sunny. But I think they do enough events there that they might not want to have a grass field there. Monster trucks are hard on grass fields.
I imagine so, yeah. There's a number of events there that would not work very well with a natural grass field. Take me back through the process of getting it to come here in the first place. And what was your reaction, Monica Paul's reaction? I know she was obviously heavily involved in it. There was a broad committee of people that y'all worked together to make this happen. What was your reaction when you guys got the word the World Cup is coming to America, and then in addition to that, it's going to come here to DFW?
Well, first off, you said Monica Paul. She does not get enough credit. The head of the Dallas Sports Commission and really the leader of our LOC. She is a special asset for the city of Dallas.
Yeah.
And what she brings to this community, Final Fours, All-Star games, college football, it just goes on and on and on. And Monica Paul is a big reason for it. She is one of the best, if not the best, in the United States in a role like that. So we're very fortunate to have her. Yeah. It's been 107 months of my life that I've been working on this. I had a lot more hair. I think I was skinnier. It has been a really amazing journey, though, for me, and to share it with my daughters. My little one wasn't even born. And so all she knows is me working on World Cup, and my older one, and their excitement and energy around it. But it wasn't whether Dallas was going to get a World Cup or not, right? I mean, we have some of the greatest stadiums in the world here, and then we have great training venues like Toyota Stadium and Soccer Center. And then, getting the International Broadcast Center is the thing that people probably don't talk about enough. This is where predominantly all the storytelling from World Cup takes place. Yeah. We are really the epicenter of World Cup 2026. But, being awarded it was a great honor, but it's not getting it. It's, what we actually got, right? 9 games, more than anybody else. Getting a semifinal, right? I mean, Dallas in a semifinal, that just was hard, I think, for a lot of people to understand. And I pressed really, really hard to get the final here in Dallas, and it didn't happen. That was my stated goal for it. But we're going to show the world we're ready to host a final. And the Women's World Cup's coming up in 2031, and I want us to be the host here in Dallas, and I want us to have multiple games at multiple venues.
Well, FIFA's going to see just what MetLife Stadium is actually all about, and they may come to not be such big fans of their own decision with all of that. I know our crew back in the studio is wanting to jump into this conversation as well and ask you a couple of questions. So let's bring back our team back at the Ultimate Dallas Sports Show studios. Which one of y'all wants to jump in here first and opine?
Anytime we can bash MetLife Stadium, I'll happily step right up.
We won't ask you to do that. We'll take that.
You're talking about the stadium in New Jersey, right? That one.
Yeah, that one.
Dan, I remember when I got here in 2018, you were already in the midst of trying to bring the World Cup to Dallas in its biggest form. And you've mentioned kind of your history with soccer and your love for the beautiful game. But if you can kind of elaborate on just why you felt such personal conviction and why you were personally compelled to play such a role in bringing it here.
Yeah, my dad was such a lover of the game of soccer, and he didn't grow up playing. He was a football and baseball guy, and he fought to keep the old North American Soccer League alive, and then he fought to keep Major League Soccer alive. My very first day on the job, MLS went out of business, but he was able to get Phil Anschutz and Robert Kraft. The three of them took 10 teams to keep Major League Soccer alive. That would have set us back more than a decade, maybe even 20 years if MLS had gone out of business, and there would be no 2026 World Cup. Clark and I talk about our relationship with the game. We both love it, but we view ourselves as caretakers of the game. We're doing something to ensure future generations have the opportunity to play in great professional leagues, in great stadiums, play in major leagues, have jobs. I mean, one of the coolest things for me is people all the time still come up to Clark and I, wherever we are, and say, I got to say a thank you. I know your dad is gone, but I got to live my dream. I got to have my dream job. I got to be a coach. I got to be a player. I got to work in the media.
Yeah.
I got to be a trainer. And so, look, this is really something that is an incredible honor. It's a sport we love, but it's really built on a passion of knowing that this will be so much bigger than all of us. And this will be something that will last for generations.
Dan, you mentioned the loss of hair. I would imagine, I have a bunch of friends right now who are getting married, and so they spend 2 years, a year and a half planning the wedding, and then the wedding actually gets here and it's over in 24 hours. You mentioned over, I think it was 100 months of planning, and as we just talked about, trying to get the World Cup here. I'm wondering what it's been like for you these last, I guess, how many days, almost 2 weeks, now that the World Cup is actually here. Like, how are you soaking it in? Are you sleeping at all? How has it been now that all of that hard work is kind of coming to fruition right in front of your eyes?
Well, the 107 months has kind of been like a birth, a wedding, and a funeral for me. But it's been amazing. I've actually gotten to be a super fan, and I didn't know what it was going to be like once it started, but I'm enjoying the matches with family and friends. I mean, we were out in L.A. for the U.S. opener, went with my brother Clark, to get to give him a hug. Because there have been so many great memories together doing that and having kids around and having that experience. And then to see the U.S. truly be a soccer nation. That was something that was so emotional for us because I wish, my parents were alive for a lot of reasons, but boy, they fought really hard to support soccer, and that was that moment. And now we have a team who I think is in the top 5 in the tournament. So I'm trying to be a super fan, wow. Soak it up.
That's a statement. By the way, top 5 in the tournament?
I believe we're a top 5 in the tournament.
Okay.
I'm happy with that optimism. I'll at least leave it at that. Dan, my question is, at least in terms of soccer, it's always felt like this arcane thing from overseas and trying to implant something that wasn't part of the American consciousness. And there's been this kind of vibe that if soccer was going to take off, Americans were going to have to put their own culture into it, their own spin on it. What are the signs that you're seeing that is actually happening and we're not just kind of mimicking England and all of these other places that have had it for generations?
It's a unique spin here, right, when you look at us. I mean, we're such a diverse culture in the United States, and if you look at the player pool and how diverse it is, you get some kids who really didn't grow up in the United States, but yet they're part of our culture. They're citizens in it, and we're kind of a mold of a lot of different nations' games. We have players playing domestically in the top league here in Major League Soccer, but also internationally at top clubs. And so it's kind of something that is, I really think it's unique. It's incredibly ambitious. When you watch sort of the fervor that we attack with, has been so fun. And historically, we lived on great defending and goalkeeping. That was sort of our survival in '94 and our trademark in 2002. 2010, you had the Landon Donovan times and scoring goals. But we're now just this, we still have that in our core, but now it's kind of this interesting attack with passion and fun. It's incredibly athletic, right? And it's dynamic and it's fun. I mean, watching them overload the left side against Paraguay was so much fun, in that game. And the way we're able just to attack and the pressure we can put teams on. But, yeah, we're unique in that it's such a diverse culture, diverse league, and you're just getting a lot of different samplings coming together. And frankly, it looks like they couldn't have picked a better coach with Mauricio Pochettino there. And look, the FC Dallas Academy has got 4 guys, 4 former players playing for the U.S. team. We're doing our part. Our partners are too, and it's really fun to be part of.
The important question here, are you Team Zlatan or Team Alexi Lalas?
Oh, boy, I'm friends with Alexi. But I got to say, Zlatan brings something to it. I don't know. I'm going to try to hedge my bets here. I'm team both of them. I'd like to hang out and have a beer with both of them. I mean, Zlatan,
that would be an entertaining time at the bar.
Yes, it was. I'll tell a quick Alexi story for you guys. First time I met him, 1994. My dad was with me. The U.S. had just been eliminated. And Alexi looks at my dad and goes, "Hey, dude, what's up?" And I was like, well, that's the first time I've ever heard anybody call my dad dude. But quite a character. But Zlatan has brought so much, to it. And there's a connection. I grew up as a childhood fan of AC Milan, and so his time there now and everything. So I'm both. I'm going to be a politician here.
That's a good answer. What are you looking for most from you mentioned, hey, top 5 team maybe in the tournament right now with the way that they are playing, and we were talking earlier before we came on the air about their pathway through, looking to be not clear but manageable is maybe a good word for it. How encouraged are you by what they've done so far, and what do you think is plausible for this team?
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to the earlier question too. We have so many aspects on how we can attack people and how we can play, and it's again, I go back to the diversity of culture. It's vertical and it's athletic, but then it's creative and it's genius, and then now we have that moxie that you need to have. The pathway it's never easy, right? Yeah. The journey is easy, and one of the things I love about World Cups is what this means to the fandom. These fans in these countries, I mean, we've got great fans behind us, Sweden and Japan, but what this really means and how they can urge a nation on. But the path, playing Bosnia and Herzegovina, it's an interesting team. That's more than likely who the U.S. will play. Yeah. Don't want to play them in penalty kicks. They beat Italy in penalty kicks to qualify for the World Cup, and then potentially getting the winner of Egypt and South Korea in the round of 16. There is a path to the quarterfinals, and then then we got to make it happen.
And if that's the case, at that point you're playing with house money.
Yeah, that's exactly. Awesome. The casino has folded at that point.
Hey, Mike, I got one
Dan
more
Hunt. We appreciate the time.
Oh, Mike, okay. I got one more question for Dan here. I don't know if we've properly asked you about Lionel Messi today. Do you think we will see another Messi in our lifetime?
Here's my hope: is we see another Messi and he's American.
There you go.
That's my hope. That was one of my other big hopes from this tournament. We have the athletes, we have the technical and tactical, we have the facilities, we have the quality league. You'll never see another one like him, but maybe we have our own American version of Lionel Messi. But I would tell everybody, enjoy this moment with him. This is maybe the greatest player of all time. If he's not, it's he and Pelé. But enjoy it, watch him on TV, celebrate his greatness, because it will be generations before we see another talent like that.
No doubt. Well, listen, a big part of why the World Cup is here right now is the man sitting to my right, Dan Hunt. Thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it. Enjoy. I know you're just getting started with enjoying what this process is like, and enjoy the month to come.
Yeah, more super fandom.
Heck yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We will be back on the Ultimate Dallas Sports Show